Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty intense. We've gathered some real-life stories, narratives that are so unsettling, honestly, they feel like something straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah, these are accounts from people who've experienced truly horrifying things with ex-partners.
Exactly. And these aren't just, bad breakup stories. They show the extreme, sometimes terrifying lengths people go to when things end, or maybe when they just feel like they're losing control.
What's really striking is how ordinary breakups can just spiral.
Yeah.
They turn into obsession, manipulation, sometimes even violence.
Right. We'll be looking at some of those patterns, when boundaries aren't just crossed, they're completely obliterated. It shows a really dark side of relationships.
A side that's often hidden, but definitely there.
We've got 5 stories today, each one different, but equally disturbing. They really drive home that sometimes the real monsters aren't, under the bed. They might have been right beside you.
It's a chilling thought.
So settle in. These are the kinds of stories that tend to stick with you. Okay, so first up, we have a story that starts with a pretty standard breakup, but it escalates fast, like life or death fast.
Right.
It involves a 21-year-old guy. He was seeing a slightly older woman, 24, who is a single mom, had a 2-year-old kid.
Okay.
He said the relationship was just kind of dull and he wasn't really ready to be a stepfather. So they broke up. Seemed okay, no big drama.
Uh-huh. But
then they hooked up again just one more night after the breakup. The next morning, she makes some coffee, breakfast, normal stuff. They both head out for the day.
Seems amicable enough on the surface.
Yeah, but on his way to school, he gets incredibly sick. Like violently ill, vomiting over and over. He apparently barely remembers being put in an ambulance. Just imagine that disorientation.
That's sudden. What could possibly cause that severe reaction so quickly?
Well, it turns out he'd overdosed on a massive amount of meth. The doctors told him he basically had 5 minutes left before they stepped in.
Meth. In the coffee.
That seems to be the implication. And the really awful twist. Federal agents were actually waiting at the hospital to talk to him.
Why feds?
Because his ex-girlfriend had planned the whole thing. She poisoned him. Her reason was just cold. If she couldn't have him, nobody could.
Wow. That's extreme possessiveness. What happened to her?
She went to jail, yeah. But apparently got a reduced sentence because she rolled on a family member involved in distributing meth.
So she traded family to lessen her time for attempted murder. That's a whole other level of calculation.
It really is just a stark example of how twisted rejection can make someone,
That mindset, if I can't have you, no one can. It's pure objectification.
Yeah.
Turning a person into the thing you destroy if you can't keep it. It's beyond just anger. It's pathological.
Okay, moving from that kind of direct physical attack, our next story is maybe more insidious. It's about intense control and a hidden presence. Really disturbing.
Right. The psychological element can be just as terrifying.
So this involves a young woman, late teens, her first boyfriend. And the relationship was abusive, very controlling.
Classic isolation tactics often start early.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He tried hard to cut her off from friends, family. She stayed for 5 years, though. She said she just lacked the confidence to get out.
That's tragically common. Control erodes self-worth.
Yeah. So one weekend, her family's away. She thinks, okay, chance to have some friends over. Her boyfriend starts calling, nonstop, demanding she kick her friends out, bring him alcohol.
The demands.
Yeah.
And the isolation attempt again.
Her friends, who already couldn't stand him, were like, you need to leave this guy. They were really encouraging her.
Good friends.
Yeah.
But controlling partners hate that.
So the friends are leaving. It's late, like 1 a.m., pouring rain outside. One guy friend stays back for a minute, has a serious talk with her. This guy's bad news.
Oh.
They finally leave, run out into the rain. She goes to the kitchen to grab her phone, and then she sees it. Her boyfriend, standing right outside the kitchen window, in the dark, in the pouring rain, hood up, scowling. His eyes were pink from being drunk. She said he looked freaky.
Oh my God. Just appearing like that?
She screams, right. He turns away, but then she finds him just a few feet away on the patio. He's breathing really heavily, crying, but with anger. He picks up a broken wooden broom handle.
Okay, this is escalating fast. Weapon involved now.
She's terrified, asks him if he's going to use it on her. He just snarls, I'm going to hurt you so badly. Then he swings it, but smashes a flower basket hanging above her head. Dirt goes everywhere, and he grabs her by the throat.
Jesus. Direct physical assault.
But then her dog, a Rottweiler, usually friendly, she said, comes bounding out, lunges at him, grabs his arm by the sleeve, starts shaking him.
Whoa, good dog.
She said the look of fear on his face was priceless. He backs off immediately. And then he confesses the really chilling part.
There's more.
Yeah. He tells her he'd walked over hours earlier, snuck in the back door when her friends were there, and he'd been hiding in the cupboard under the stairs.
Yeah.
The whole time.
No. Hiding inside the house.
Listening to every single word she and her friends said about him.
That's beyond stalking. That's a complete invasion. Hiding in your own home. The violation of safety there is profound. He wasn't just outside, he was inside, listening.
Exactly. It changes everything, knowing someone could be in your safe space like that, undetected. Makes your skin crawl, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It turns your home from a sanctuary into a potential trap.
Okay, this next one. It deals with that kind of quiet, long-term intrusion, maybe less overtly violent initially, but deeply unsettling over time.
Right, the slow burn kind of creepiness.
It's about a woman's ex-boyfriend, a guy named Jim. This was back around 2001 to 2003. The storyteller was her daughter, about 13 at the time. She actually liked Jim, said he was lots of fun, and was kind of bummed when her mom broke up with him.
And the reason for the breakup?
Mom just said it was because he smoked. Seems simple enough.
Okay.
So about a year goes by after the breakup. The daughter, now 13, is home alone playing video games. Suddenly, she hears the garage door open.
Uh-oh. That's weird if mom's not due back.
Yeah, very weird. She looks out the window, sees Jim's car, a silver Audi, parked just outside the garage. He sits there for a few minutes, then closes the garage door remotely and just drives away. Never got out.
He just opened and closed the garage. What's
Yeah.
the significance there?
Well, the implication is he still had their garage code programmed into his car's remote a year after the breakup.
So he could still get in. He was checking if the code still worked or maybe if anyone was home.
Exactly. At the time, maybe not immediately terrifying because he used to stay over, but looking back, knowing he kept that access, super creepy.
Definitely unsettling. Did they change the code?
Well, the mom mentioned later that Jim had been bugging her, claiming he left some expensive wine bottles at their house and wanted them back. Bottles, the mom says, never existed.
An excuse for contact. Or maybe pressure.
Right. The mom said she would change the code, but she never actually did.
Oh, that's not good.
So flash forward 5 or 6 years, the daughter's older now, staying at her dad's place for a bit. Her mom calls her, really grilling her, asking if she'd moved things in the house, specific things like kitchen chairs. And then she asks this really weird question. Did you put the dog in the bathroom and then pull the chair in front of the door?
That's bizarrely specific. Why would she ask that?
Extremely odd. The daughter hadn't done anything like that. It sounded like someone was trying to make it look like someone else had been in the house, maybe, or just create confusion.
Okay, so connecting the dots.
Okay.
The unchanged code, the weird calls about non-existent wine, now things being moved.
Exactly. It came out later that Jim had never stopped contacting the mom since the breakup. Emails, texts, calls, constantly harassing her for money, always using the fake wine bottles as the excuse.
Persistent harassment. And he still had access.
Yep. Since the daughter's dad was out of town and only he and Jim had the code, well, all signs pointed to Jim. The thought that he might have been letting himself into their house, potentially for years, moving things unseen.
That's profoundly disturbing. The idea of someone repeatedly entering your home without your knowledge, it's a complete violation of security and peace of mind. That quiet, unseen presence is terrifying.
It really is. Okay, our fourth story takes a sharp turn into psychological torture, stemming from something that started almost innocently.
Psychological abuse can be incredibly damaging, often invisible to outsiders.
This woman grew up with super strict, overprotective parents. Her only real outlet was online, where they couldn't really monitor her. So when she was 17, she started an erotic blog, used the pseudonym Claire.
Okay, a secret online life.
Yeah, she posted suggestive photos, but always hid her identity. Made up stories about this sexually active alter ego. She said she really enjoyed the creativity, the connection with readers. It was her escape.
A way to explore things she couldn't in real life, under a controlled persona.
Right. So 3 years later, she's in college, finally free from her parents, mostly forgotten about the blog. She meets a guy, David. Tall, seemed kind, outgoing. Found her shyness cute, she said. But he also apparently often told her she was lucky he stuck around with her.
That "you're lucky" comment. That could be a subtle manipulation, setting up a dynamic where she feels indebted.
Yeah, maybe a red flag there. Anyway, 3 months into dating, David calls her up and asks, "Who's Claire?"
Oh no, he found it.
Her blood ran cold, she said. She felt totally cornered. eventually broke down, admitted it was her, explained why she did it back then.
How did he react?
He seemed understanding. He claimed his psycho ex-girlfriend had somehow found the blog, maybe through Facebook or Google, and sent him the link. He played the victim of his ex, almost.
Convenient scapegoat. So what happened then?
Then the emails started. Every single night, usually really late, like 3 or 4 a.m., coming from obviously fake addresses, things like Claire the whore, Claire cocksucker.
Oh, God. That's targeted harassment.
It started with insults, you're disgusting, stuff like that. But it escalated fast. Whoever it was started sending copies of her old blog photos, the ones she deleted, but with vile stuff written across them. Fat slut, kill yourself.
That's horrific. Weaponizing her past against her.
And then it got even more personal. They started mentioning her friends by name, claiming the friends were disgusted with her, or even pretending to be the friends in the emails.
Isolating her again, making her doubt her support system. This is textbook psychological abuse.
She was under immense stress, couldn't sleep, lost weight. She begged David to make it stop, assuming it was his ex, but he just kind of shrugged it off, said it was out of his control.
Really? No effort to help. That's suspicious.
And then he started blaming her, saying things like, well, it was hard to believe she hadn't actually done all those sexual things she wrote about. Claiming his ex heard stories about her back home.
Whoa! Turning it around on her completely, that's gaslighting, making her doubt her own reality and experiences.
It totally messed with her head. She started apologizing to him profusely. She felt so bad she actually had sex with him for the first time, mainly because she felt lucky he was still there, like he'd said.
That is so manipulative, using the harassment, which he likely orchestrated or at least enabled, to coerce her physically and emotionally.
The emails finally stopped after about 2 months, but then, shortly after her 21st birthday, David broke up with her. Really cruelly, she said.
So the harassment stops, then he dumps her. The timing seems significant.
Right. And then, 3 months later, one last email arrives. Just said, I can't believe you haven't killed yourself. You should.
Unbelievable cruelty after everything.
She finally snapped back, replied something like, we're not even dating, you're pathetic, get a life. And that was it. She never heard from Claire's tormentor again, but the damage to her trust, huge.
Absolutely devastating, turning something she created into a weapon to destroy her self-esteem and control her. It highlights how online spaces can be twisted for psychological torture.
Yeah. Okay, our final story. And this one it's visceral. Maybe the most shocking in terms of the sheer depravity of the act.
Okay, brace ourselves.
It involves a man who is trying to break up with a very, very dependent girlfriend. It started casual, but she quickly became almost clingy, practically moved into his place, constantly needed contact, spied on his social media.
High dependency, poor boundaries, possessiveness, common themes.
And she apparently used her depression as a kind of weapon. Whenever her behavior pushed him away, she'd lean on his sympathy about her mental health to pull him back in.
That's a difficult dynamic. Emotional manipulation using genuine or exaggerated vulnerability, it traps the other person.
He finally saw the pattern, though, realized it was a cycle, and he tried to end it for real this time.
Okay, the final break. How did she react?
When she understood, really understood, that she was losing him, she did something just unthinkable. She ran over his dog.
She hit his dog with her car. On purpose.
Yes, intentionally ran over his dog. Her twisted idea was that the shared grief, mourning the dog together, would somehow bring them back together, cement their bond through tragedy.
That is monstrous. Harming a defenseless animal, his companion, as a tool for manipulation. It's a profound lack of empathy. It's chillingly calculated.
And in the absolute worst part, for a short time, it worked.
No, how?
The pain of it all, taking his dog to the vet, having to make the decision to put him down, was overwhelming. He couldn't handle it alone, and she was suddenly there for him, being supportive, comforting.
Oh, God. Playing the supportive partner after causing the tragedy. That's sociopathic.
It seems that way. But a few weeks later, she got drunk, and she confessed. Admitted she did it on purpose.
She admitted it. Wow. What did he do?
He said he'd never felt such rage. His morals were seriously tested. He just couldn't get the image of putting his dog down out of his head knowing she caused it. He threw all her stuff out, physically removed her from his house.
Understandable reaction.
Yeah.
Pure fury.
He eventually had to threaten her with charges just to keep her away while he got a restraining order processed. He hasn't spoken to her since, just left wondering if she was, like you said, a true sociopath who had been playing him the entire time.
That level of cruelty, instrumental violence against a pet,
Yeah.
it points to severe personality disturbances. The ability to inflict that kind of pain for personal gain is deeply, deeply concerning. It's beyond a bad breakup.
Yeah, absolutely. Just heartbreaking and horrifying.
So looking back at all these stories, what we see is this terrifying pattern, isn't it? Control, obsession, escalating behavior, and often just a staggering lack of empathy.
Yeah, from poisoning to hiding in cupboards to years of quiet intrusion, psychological warfare, and even killing a pet. It really shows how vital it is to see those early signs, right? And to have firm boundaries.
Absolutely critical. These aren't just isolated incidents. They reveal dangerous potentials within human relationships when things go wrong.
They're just a really stark reminder, I think, that the scariest stuff isn't always fantasy. It can be very real, hiding in the complexities of human connection, where dependency and control can turn into something truly monstrous.
It makes you think.
Definitely. So as you're reflecting on these stories, maybe ask yourself, how well do you really know the people closest to you? What could be hidden beneath the surface, even in someone who seems normal? Yeah, it's a thought that might keep you up tonight.
A sobering thought, indeed.
We hope this deep dive into these, frankly, terrifying true stories gave you maybe some insight or at least a glimpse into that darker side of things.
Important stories to hear, even if they are difficult.
Thank you for joining us for this chilling deep dive. If you found these stories as captivating and unsettling as we did, please do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docx. We'll have more real-life accounts that will definitely send shivers down your spine.
Stay aware, stay safe.
Until next time, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the best things do happen in the dark.